they say, is the wind that blows the house down.
Oh, Shantae isn't a woman to keep a man waiting, for one thing or another, if you take my meaning.
I take your meaning.
Mm-hmm.
May I ask what the 500 silver dollars are for?
Want to sound me out? Very well. The director of the Peking airfield is a friend of mine from flying school. I give him 500, he gets me the job.
The price is high.
Not as these things go. You see, he'll have to fire one of the present pilots for negligence. Only the man he has in mind isn't negligent. Not so easy, you understand. You needn't mention that part of it to Shantae.
Mr. Yang's son, you're asking my cousin to leave her premises, her friends, and place her entire fate in your hands. I presume you intend to marry her?
I'd be prepared to.
Those 200 silver dollars would pay the rent here for 6 months. If you were Shantae, wouldn't you be tempted to continue in business?
What? Can you imagine Yang Sung, the flyer behind a counter? A strong cigar or a mild one, worthy sir? Not in this century.
My cousin wishes to follow the promptings of her heart. And from her own point of view, she may even have what is called the right to love. Accordingly, she has commissioned me to help her to this post. There is nothing here I am not empowered to turn immediately into cash. Mrs. Michu, the landlady, will advise me on the sale.
Mrs. Shutai, you're to see me about the rent. As you know, it falls due the day after tomorrow.
Circumstances have changed, Mrs. Michu. My cousin is getting married. Her future husband here is taking her to Peking. I wish to sell the tobacco stock.
How much are you asking for it?
300.
500 silver dollars.
And how much did she pay for it?
1,000, and very little has been sold.
She was robbed. I can make you a special offer if you're out by the day after tomorrow. 300 silver dollars.
Take it, man, take it.
It is not enough.
Why not? Certainly it's enough.
500 silver dollars.
What for? We only need 3.
Excuse me. Tobacco stock is pledged to the old couple to Shantae, the 200.
Is it in writing?
No.
300 will be enough.
Of course. But I need some assurance that Miss Shantae is not in debt.
Mr. Shuita,
She is not in debt.
when can you let us have the money?
The day after tomorrow. But remember, I'm only doing this because I have a soft spot in my heart for young lovers.
Boxes, jars, sacks, 300 for the whole lot. The pain's over. Where else can we get the money by tomorrow?
Nowhere. Haven't you enough for the trip and the first few weeks?
Oh, certainly.
How much exactly?
Oh, I'll get by, even if I have to steal it.
I see.
Well, don't fall off the roof. I'll get to Peking somehow.
2 people can't travel for nothing.
I'm leaving her behind. No millstones around my neck.
Oh,
Don't look at me like that.
how precisely is my cousin to live?
You'll think of something.
A small request, Mr. Yang's son. Leave 200 here with me until you can show me 2 tickets for Peking.
You learn to mind your own business, Mr. Shuita.
I'm afraid my cousin may not wish to sell when she
Even
discovers...
no women. She'll want to sell, even then. I only have to lay my hand on her shoulder and church bells ring.
My cousin is a human being and not devoid of common sense.
Shantae is a woman. She is devoid of common sense.
Mr. Yang's son!
Mr. Shui, whatever it is.
My cousin is devoted to you because...
Because I have my hands on her breast. Give me a cigar. Tell her I'll marry her. Then bring me the money. Or let her bring it. One or the other.
Well, he has your cousin underneath his thumb and doesn't care if all of Yellow Street knows it. I've lost my shop. And he doesn't love me. I've lost my shop and he doesn't love me. I've lost my shop and he
we lacking in hardness? Damn it. Steal a penny from me, I'll take you by the throat till you spit it out. You do the same to me.
This city is bad, and the times are hell, but we're like ants. We keep coming up and up the walls, however smooth, till bad luck comes.
Love, for instance. One weakness is enough, and love is deadliest.
You really should have a talk with Mr. Shoe-Foo, the barber. He's a real gentleman and just the thing for your cousin. A caress becomes a stranglehold. A sigh of love turns into a cry of fear. Why are there vultures circling in the air?
The girl is going to meet her lover. Mr. Shoe-Foo.
Mr. Shuita.
I am told you've expressed a certain interest in my cousin Shente. Let me set aside all propriety and confess she is at this moment in grave danger.
Oh, dear.
She has lost her shop, Mr. Shoe-Foo.
Well, the goodness of Miss Shente, Mr. Shuita, derives from the goodness not of her shop, but of her heart. Many call her the angel of the slums.
Yet her goodness has cost her 200 silver dollars in a single day. It must be stopped.
Permit me to differ, Mr. Shuita. Let us rather open wide the gates to such goodness. For they are hungry, and she giveth to them to eat. 4 of them, to be exact. But why only 4, I ask? Why not 400? I hear that Miss Shente is seeking shelter for the homeless. So what about my cabins behind the cattle run? They're at her disposal, and so forth and so on. Do you think Miss Shente could be persuaded to hear certain ideas of mine? Ideas like these?
Mr. Shoe-Foo, she would be honored.
Is Miss Shante here?
No.
I'm Wong, the water seller. You're Mr. Shuita?
I am.
I'm a good friend of Shante.
An intimate friend, I hear.
It's because of my hand, you see.
He hurt his hand, sir. That's a fact.
You need a sling, I see.
But that's her new shop.
She does not need it.
She bought it to please someone.
It happens to no longer be necessary.
She's my only witness.
Mr. Shuita, your cousin is supposed to have seen the barber hit the water cell with a curling iron.
I'm afraid my cousin was not present at the time.
Oh, but she was. Just ask her. Isn't she in?
Wong, my cousin, has her own troubles. You wouldn't want to add to them by her committing perjury.
But it was she who told me to go see the judge.
And was the judge supposed to heal your hand?
I see how it is.
I'll be on my way. And you be careful. If Mr. Shoe-Foo wasn't a man who tempers justice with mercy, you'd be in jail for libel. Be off with you.
Profound apologies, Mr. Shoe-Foo.
Not at all. The episode is over.
She may need some time to recover. There are some fresh wounds.
We should be discreet, delicate. A short vacation could be arranged.
You and she would talk things over first, of course.
At a small supper, at a small but high-class restaurant.
I'll go find her.
Time for congratulations, Mr. Shoe.
Mrs. Shin, please inform Miss Shente's guests that they may take shelter in the cabins behind the cattle run. Well, what do you think of me now, ladies and gentlemen? What could a man do more? Be less selfish, more farsighted? Small supper in a small... Now, does that bring rather vulgar and clumsy thoughts into your mind? Nothing of the sort will occur. Not even accidentally while passing the salt. It's an exchange of ideas only, over the flowers on the table. The white chrysanthemums, by the way. Yes, over the white chrysanthemums, 2 young souls will, shall we say, find each other. Understanding? Yes. An offer of assistance? Certainly, but quietly, almost inaudibly. Perhaps Perhaps with a single glance. A glance that could also mean more.
Everything under control, Mr. Shu.
Yes, Mrs. Shin, what do you know about this worthless rascal Yang's son?
Why, he's the most worthless rascal.
Is he really? Well, from now on, he's completely out of the picture, can't be found anywhere.
What's been going on here?
Shall I call Mr. Shuita, Mr. Shufu? He wouldn't want strangers in here.
Mr. Shuita is in conference with Miss Shentei, not to be disturbed.
Shouldn't here. I didn't see her come in. What kind of conference?
Pray take note, sir. If I have any inkling as to who you are, then Miss Shentei and I are about to announce our engagement.
What?
You didn't expect that, did you?
My dear Shentei,
Shentei, what's going on?
apologies.
Have you gone crazy?
My cousin and Mr. Shufu have come to an understanding. They wish me to hear Mr. Shufu's plans for helping the poor.
Your cousin wants to part us.
Yes?
And you've agreed to it.
Yes?
They told you I was bad. Maybe I am. Does that make me need you less? I'm low, Shouldn't I have no money. I don't always do the right thing. But at least I put up a fight. Have you no eyes? Look at him. Have you forgotten already?
No.
How it was raining?
No.
How you cut me down from the willow tree, bought me water, promised me money to fly with you?
Yang son, what do you want?
I want you to come with me.
See, Mr. Shufu, I want to go with Yang son.
We're lovers, you know. Give me the key to the shop. Leave it under the mat when you're through. Let's go, Shentei.
But this is rape. Mr. Shuita!
Tell him not to shout.
Please don't shout for my cousin, Mr. Shufu. He doesn't agree with me, I know. But he's wrong. I want to go with the man I love. I don't want to count the cost, and I don't want to consider if it's wise, and I don't want to know if he loves me. I want to go with the man I love.
That's the spirit.
Something terrible has happened. As I left the shop with Yang Sung, I found the old carpet dealer's wife in the street. She was trembling all over. Told me that her husband had taken sick over all the worry and excitement over the 200 silver dollars they lent me. She said it would be best if I paid it back now. Well, of course I had to say I would. She couldn't quite trust my cousin Shui Ta, or even my fiancé Yang Sun. With tears in her eyes, and with my emotions in an uproar, I threw myself into Yang Sun's arms. I couldn't resist him. Things he said to Shui Ta taught Shentei nothing. Sinking into his arms, I said to myself, let no one perish, not even oneself. To fill everyone with happiness, even oneself, is so good. How could I have forgotten about that old couple? Yang Sun swept me away like a small hurricane. But he's not a bad man. And he loves me. And he'd rather work in a cement factory than owe his life of flying to a crime. Even though flying is a great passion for Sun. Now, on the way to my wedding, I wavered between fear and joy.
bad news, Mama. She told me she can't sell the shop for me. Some idiot is bringing a claim that he lent her the 200 silver dollars she gave you.
What did you say? Of course you can't marry her
Oh,
now.
it's no use saying anything to her. I've sent for a cousin, Mr. Shweta. He said there was nothing in writing.
Good idea. I'll go out and look for him. You keep an eye on him.
I wasn't mistaken in him. He's bearing up well. Though it must have been an awful blow giving up flying. I do love him so. Son, you haven't drunk a toast with the bride.
What shall we drink to?
Why, to the future.
To when the bridegroom's dinner jacket won't be a hired one.
When the bride's dress will still get rained on sometimes.
To everything we ever wished for.
May all our dreams come true.
Hear, hear.
Oh, hey, now, friends, before the wedding gets underway, I have to ask the bride a few questions. I've no idea what kind of wife she'll make, and frankly, it's worrying me. For example, can you make 5 cups of tea with 3 teaspoons?
No.
Then I won't be getting very much tea then. Can you sleep on a straw mattress the size of that book?
The 2 of us?
The one of you.
Well, in that case, no.
What a wife! I'm shocked.
And where do you think you're off to? It's only a matter of minutes.
Time goes on, Mrs. Yang, and I have another wedding to attend to, and a funeral also.
Do you think I planned it this way? I was hoping to manage with 1 pitcher of wine, and we've gone through 2 already. My dear Shenpei, I don't know where your cousin can be keeping himself.
My cousin.
Certainly. I'm old-fashioned enough to think that such a close relative should attend the wedding.
Oh, son, if it's a 300...
Are you deaf? Mother says she's old-fashioned, and I say I'm considerate. We'll wait another 15 minutes.
Another 15 minutes?
Now, you all know, don't you, that my son is getting a job as a mail pilot. In Peking, too, isn't it? In Peking, too. The 2 of us are moving to Peking.
Son, tell your mother Peking is out of the question now.
Your cousin will tell her. If he agrees to it, I don't agree to it.
Son!
I hate this godforsaken Setzuan. What people? You know what they look like when I half close my eyes? Horses. Winning, fretting, screwing their necks up. And what is it the thunder says? They are superfluous! They've run their last race. They can trample themselves to death, but I have got to get out of here.
But I promised the money to the old couple,
And since you always do the wrong thing, it's a good thing your cousin's coming. Have another drink.
my cousin can't be coming.
What makes you think that?
My cousin can't be where I am.
Quite a conundrum.
Son, I'm the one that loves you, not my cousin. He was thinking of that job in Peking when he promised you the old couple.
Right? And that's why he's bringing the 300 silver dollars here. To my wedding.
He's not bringing $300 silver.
How do you mean?
He says you only bought 1 ticket for Peking.
And if my mother's no, she'll get left behind. I sold her furniture to buy the tickets, so you see.
But what about the old couple?
What about me? Have another drink. Or do you believe in moderation? If I drink again, I may fly. If you drink, you may learn to understand me.
I want to help you, but I just don't know how.
Oh, here's a plane, my darling, but it's only got 1 wing.
Mrs. Yang,
Yes?
another pitcher of wine, then.
We have enough, thanks. Drinking makes me sweat.
Would you mind paying your bill?
Just be patient a few moments longer, everyone. Mr. Chui Ta is on his way over. Don't be a spoiled sport.
I can't let you leave till you pay your bill, ma'am.
But they know me here.
That's just it.
I humbly take my leave.
No, stay where you are, everyone. The princess will be back in just 2 minutes.
It's no good, Mama. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shweta still hasn't arrived, and the priest has gone home. We won't detain you any longer.
Surprise!
Isn't this your wedding? If we can wait, you can wait. Mother calls me her falcon. She wants to see me in the clouds again, but I think it may be St. Never-Comes Day before she goes to the door and sees my plane thunder by. Oh, what's wrong, ladies and gentlemen? Why such a lull in conversation? Aren't you enjoying yourselves? The wedding is only slightly postponed because an important guest is expected at any moment. Also because the bride doesn't know what love is. But while we're waiting, the bridegroom will sing a little song. On a certain day, as is generally known, one and all will be shouting hooray! For the beggar's maid son has a solid gold throne, and the day is St. Never-Comes Day. On St. Never-Come, Never-Come, Never-Comes Day, he'll sit on the solid gold throne. Oh, hooray, hooray, that day goodness will pay, that day badness will cost you your head. And merit and money will smile and be funny while exchanging salt and bread. On St. Never-Come, Never-Come, Never-Comes Day, while exchanging salt and bread. And the grass will look down at the sky, and the pebbles will roll up and scream. And all men will be good without batting an eye, they will make of our earth a dream. On St. Never-Come, Never-Come, Never-Comes Day, they'll make of our earth a dream. And as for me, that's the way I shall be, a flyer and one of the best. Unemployed man, you will have work to do, washerwoman, you'll get your rest. On St. Never-Come, Never-Come, Never-Come Day, washerwoman, you'll get your rest. On St. Never-Come, Never-Come, Never-Come Day, washerwoman, you'll get your rest.
Looks like he's not coming. I'm so glad you've come. It's Shantae. She's in great trouble from following that rule about loving thy neighbor. Perhaps she's too good for this world.
Nonsense. You consume my life and doubt.
Forgive me, illustrious ones. I only meant you might seem to intervene.
Out of the question. My colleague here intervened in some squabble or other only yesterday. The result was before us.
She had to call on her cousin again, but this time not even he could help. I'm afraid the shop is done for. Perhaps we should help after all.
The gods help those that help themselves.
But what if we can't help ourselves, illustrious ones?
Try anyway. Suffering and noble. Our faith in Shantae is unshaken.
We certainly haven't found any other people. You can see where we spend the nights from the straw on our clothes. You might help her find her way by
The good man finds his own way here below.
The good woman, too.
The heavier the burden, the greater her strength.
We're only onlookers, you know.
And everything will be all right in the end, O ye of little faith. husband, no house or home.
What are you going to live on?
Well, I can work. I can sort tobacco.
Hey, look! Mr. Schweeta's trousers! He must have left here stark naked.
Oh, no, Mrs. Shin, he may have another pair.
But if he's gone for good as you say, why has he left them behind?
Maybe he's thrown them away.
Can I take them?
Oh, no.
Total silence, not a word, I know it all. You have sacrificed your own love so as not to hurt the dear old couple who have put all their trust in you. Well, not in vain does this district, for all its malevolent tongues, call you the angel of the slums, but why that young man couldn't rise to your level, and so you left him. And now, when I see you closing up shop, that veritable haven of rest for the multitude, I cannot let it pass. Morning after morning, I stood watching, not unmoved, while you handed out rice to the wretched. Now, is that never to happen again? Is the good woman of Setzuan to disappear? Now, if only you would allow me to assist you. Now, don't say anything. No assurances, no exclamations of gratitude. Here you go, a check. Just my signature. Fill it out for any amount in the world. I herewith retire from the scene, quietly, unobtrusively, full of veneration, on tiptoe, absolutely.
Well, you're saved! Now hurry, put that $1,000 silver dollars. Let me fly to the bank before he changes his mind.
I don't need any checks paid for the laundry.
What? You're not going to do it just because you might have to marry him.
Are you still thinking of that flyer? Oh, the Yellow Street knows how he treated you. When I heard his cunning laugh, I was afraid, but when I saw the holes in his shoes, I loved him dearly. Still defending that good-for-nothing after all that he's done.
Oh. Oh. So you feel dizzy when you stretch and bend? There could have been a little visitor along the way.
If that's the case, you can forget about Mr. Shufu's check. Wasn't meant for a christening present. And the human being is on the way. The world awaits him. In the city, people say he's got to be reckoned with, this new human being. This is my son, the well-known flyer. Say welcome to the conqueror of unknown regions and unreachable mountains, who brings us our mail across the impassable desert. Oh. Take a look at the world, my son. That's a tree. Tree, yes, say, hello, tree. And bow. Like this. Oh, look, there's the water cellar. She's a friend. A cup of water for my little son, please. Yes, it is a warm day. Oh, dear, policeman, we've got to make a circle around him. Maybe we can pick some cherries in rich Mr. Pung's garden. You want cherries? Just like children with no fathers. Oh, no, you can't go straight at them like that. Don't pull. You must learn to be reasonable. Have it your own way. Can you reach? Where to put them? Well, your mouth is the best place. You're good. The policeman. Calm now. Back to the street so no one will see us. Once a plum 'twas in Japan, made a conqueror of a man, but the man's turn soon did come, for he gobbled up the plum. Wong! Sensei, it's the carpenter. He's lost his shop. He's been drinking. His children are on the street. This is one of them. Can you help? Come here, little man. You there? A man is looking for your shelter. A man of tomorrow says, what about today? His friend the conqueror, whom you know is his advocate. He can say Mr. Shufu's cabin. I may have to go there myself. I'm with child. Oh, but don't tell me I sung that. We'd only be in the way. Can you find the carpenter for me? I'll go right now. I knew you'd think of something. I'm going for your father's son. Mom, what about your
hand. I wanted to
Don't worry about me. I have another hand.
Oh, but it's your right hand. Here, take this card, sell everything that's on it, and go to the doctor with the money.
She's still good. I better get the carpenter first, but I'll be back for that cart. Wait over there, son, until your father comes. You alone, Shente, dear? Your cousin's away. He's not coming back. No, I'm giving up the shop. That's one of the reasons why we're here. We want to know if we can put some things in your back room. Can you do us this favor?
Oh, certainly.
And if anyone asks about them, say they're yours.
Well, would anyone ask?
Oh, someone might. The police, for instance, they don't seem to like us.
Oh, I'd rather not get anyone.
Listen to her, the good woman of Setzuan.
There's enough tobacco in these sacks to give us a new start in life. We could actually open our own tobacco factory.
You can put them in the back room. We're counting on you, Shente, dear. Yes,
We'll see you in Mr. Shufu's cabin.
The day after tomorrow.
yes. Now go. Go away, all of you. I'm not feeling well.
He's eating the refuse in the garbage can.
Oh, look at his little gray mouth. As this is the world my son will enter, I shall study to defend him. I shall be a tigress to all others if I have to. And I shall have to. One more time. Hope really the last. So it's true. The shop has closed down. And the furniture's in the backyard. The end of the road. The fruit of high living, selfishness, and sensuality. Down the primrose past Mr. Shufu's cabin. With you. Cabin? Rat hole. He gave them to us because his soap supply went moldy there.
Shente's leaving?
Yes, she was sneaking away. She's ashamed of herself. And
No wonder.
Tell her to call Mr. Sweetheart. She's done for this time.
Tell her to call Mr. Shuitar, or we're done for.
So, it looks like we'll have a roof over our heads for a change.
Roof. Whose roof?
Mr. Shufu's cabin. We have little farm to thank for it. Bow to your little brother, you.
Sweetheart. May I ask what this crowd is for? How do you do, Mr. Sweetheart? This is the carpenter. Miss Shente promised him a space in Mr. Shufu's cabin. I'm afraid that will not be possible.
You mean we can't stay there after all?
All the space is needed for other purposes. But we've got nowhere else to go. Miss Shente finds it possible to provide employment. If the proposition interests you, you may stay in the cabin.
you mean work? Work for Miss Shente?
Making tobacco, yes. There are 3 bales here already. Would you like to get them?
We have our own tobacco. We were in the tobacco business before you were born.
You don't have your own tobacco. What about you?
Mr. Sweetheart, I brought you $300 silver.
I'll sign your lease instead. I've decided not to sell. You don't need the money for the flyer. No.
And you can pay the 6 months' rent.
Here is a check for 10,000 silver dollars on Mr. Shufu's account. Look, your rent will be in your hands by 7 this evening. Now, if you will excuse me. So it's Mr. Shufu now. The flyer's been given the walking papers. You modern girls. In my day, they'd have said she was slutty. That poor deserted Mr. Yang's son.
Don't you know why I'm doing this for you?
Perhaps your children would like to eat Mr. Carpenter.
Was my brother-in-law here? Yes, he was. I thought as much as our tobacco.
Really? I thought it came from my back room. Shall we consult the police on the point?
No.
Perhaps you will show me the way to Mr. Shufu's cabin.
A pair of pants missing from the clothes cart 1 minute, and the next minute appearing on top the Honorable Shantae was here.
She's not.
There was something she was going to give us.
She was going to help me, too. But it'll be too late soon. She'll be back. This cousin of hers has never stayed long.
No, he hasn't, has he? Setzuan. Well, but what you suggest, my dear wrong? A little relaxation of the world's benevolent ones, in view of the bad times. As for instance... Oh, okay, well, instead of love, goodwill. I'm afraid that would only create new problems. Okay, well, instead of justice, good sportsmanship, that would only mean more work. Well, instead of honor, outward propriety? No, still more work. I'm afraid the rules will have to stand like you are. Into a model citizen. As you may have heard, Mr. Shuita opened a small tobacco factory near the cattle run. It flourished. 3 months ago, I shall never forget it, I asked for an appointment and Mr. Shuita agreed to see us, me and my son. I can see him now as he came through the door to greet us.
Mrs. Yang, what can I do for you?
This morning the police came to the house. We find you brought an action for breach of promise of marriage in the name of Shantae. You also claim that son came by $200 silver by improper means.
That is correct.
Mr. Shuita, the money's all gone. When the Peking job didn't materialize, he ran through it all in 3 days. I know he's a good for nothing. He sold my furniture. He was going to move to Peking without me. But Miss Shantae thought highly of him at one time.
Mr. Yang's son, what do you say?
The money's gone.
Mrs. Yang, In consideration for my cousin's incomprehensible weakness for your son, I am prepared to give him another chance. He can have a job here. The 200 silver dollars will come out of his wages.
So it's the factory or jail.
Take your choice.
May I speak with Shantae?
You may not.
Tell me where to go.
Mr. Sweetheart, your kindness itself, but God's will reward you. And honest work will make a man of you, my boy. Actually, honest work didn't agree with him at first. And he got no chance to distinguish himself until in the third week, when the wages were being paid.
Carpenter, 6 silver dollars. Yang's son, 6 silver dollars.
Excuse me, sir, I don't think that can be right. May I see? Oh yes, it says 6 working days, sir, but that's incorrect. I took a day off for court business. I won't take what I haven't earned, however miserable the pay is.
Yang's son, 5 silver dollars. A rare case, Mr. Sweetheart.
How is it the books say 6 when they should say 5?
I must have made a mistake. It won't happen again.
You don't hold back, do you? You give your all to the firm. You're even honest. Do the foreman's mistakes always favor the workers?
He does have friends.
May I offer you any little recompense?
Give me a trial period for 1 week. I'll prove to you that my intelligence is worth more to you than my strength.
Fighting words, fighting words. That evening I said to Son, if you're a flyer, then fly, my falcon. Rise in the world. And he got to be foreman. Yes, in Mr. Sweetheart's tobacco factory, he works real miracles.
Faster! Faster, you there! You think you can just stand around now that you're not foreman anymore? It'll be your job to lead us in a song. Sing!
7 elephants, all much the same. And then there was little brother. The 7 they were wild, little brother each the same. As his brother Jane showed little brother.
Run faster!
Mr. Satan's horse bark must be clear before tonight already. It's growing dark. When the 7 elephants reached the forest park, Mr. Chang rode high on little brother. The 7 toiling was so dark, he did not a thing on his big behind sat little brother.
Think faster!
Mr. Chang's forest park must be clear before tonight already. It's growing dark. When the 7 elephants worked many an hour, till none of them could work another. Oh, Chang breathed his power on the 7 he did flour, but gave a pound of bread to little brother.
Keep on digging!
Mr. Chang's forest park was when the 7 elephants
And that's why I say strength and wisdom are wonderful things. It took the strong and wise Mr. Sweetheart to bring out the best in Yang's son. A real superior man is like a bell. If you ring it, it rings. And if you don't, it don't, as the saying is.
cannot tell you when Miss Shente is coming back.
200 silver dollars came in an envelope. There was no letter, but it must have been from Shente. We would like to write to thank her. May we have her address?
I'm afraid I haven't got it.
Let's be going.
She's gotta come back sometime.
They lost their shop because they couldn't pay their taxes. The money arrived too late. They could have come to me. People don't like coming to you. I'm busy. It's no wonder you are in your 7th month. But don't worry, Mrs. Shin will be there in your hour of trial. Can I count on that? We all have our price, and mine won't be too high for the great Mr. Shui Ta. It's all for the child's sake, all of this. All for the child, of course. Oh, I am so fat, people must notice. Oh no, they think it's because you're rich. What will happen to the child? You ask that 9 times a day. Why, it will have the best that money can buy. You must never see Shui Ta. Oh no, only Shente. But with the neighbors, there are rumors, aren't there? As long as Mr. Shufu doesn't find out, there is nothing that you have to worry about. Here, drink this.
I guess I'm in the way.
Till tomorrow, Mrs. Shin.
Gloves now. Oh, she couldn't be fleecing you. When did you have a private lesson? You know, you haven't been at your best lately, and things are getting out of hand. The police are threatening to close us down. They say at most they can allow only twice the lawful number of workers.
Their cabins are quite good enough.
For the workers, maybe, but not for the tobacco. They're too damn. We'll have to take over some more of Mrs. Mishu's cabins.
Her price is double what I can pay.
Not unconditionally. If she asks me to stroke her knees, she'll come down.
I will never agree.
What's the matter? Is it the rain?
Never. I will never.
Mishu will be here in 5 minutes, and Shufu will be here with her. You fix it.
Where's your dad?
What noise?
Mr. Shuita, where is Shente? It's been 6 months now. There are rumors.
Come back next week. I'm busy.
There was always rice on her doorstep for the needy. It was there again lately.
And what do people conclude from this?
That she's still in Setzuan, but
She's been what? Wong, if you're Miss Shente's friend, I suggest you talk a little less about her. That's my advice to you.
I don't want your advice. Before Shente disappeared, she told me something very important. She's pregnant.
What? What was that?
And that woman is lying.
A good woman isn't so easily forgotten, Mr. Sweetheart.
Shente pregnant. So that's why her cousin sent her away. I have a son. A Yang appears on the scene, and what happens? Mother and child vanish into thin air. That scoundrel. What was that? Someone sobbing? Who was it? The great Shui Ta, the tobacco king, doesn't weep his heart out. And how does the rice get on her doorstep? Where is she?
9 o'clock, but you can't hear a thing. The rain is so heavy.
What do you want to hear?
The mail thing.
What?
I was told you wanted to fly at one time. Is that all forgotten?
Flying mail is night work. I prefer the daytime. And besides, the firm is very dear to me. It still belongs to my ex-fiancée, and even though she's not around. And she's not, is she?
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's say I haven't altogether lost interest in your cousin.
My cousin might like to know that.
I might not be indifferent if I found she was being kept under lock and key.
By whom?
By you.
And what could you do about it?
I could submit for discussion my position in the firm.
You are now my manager. in return for a more appropriate position, you would drop the inquiry to my cousin's whereabouts?
I might.
And what position would be more appropriate?
The one at the top.
My own. And if I preferred to throw you out on your neck?
And I'd come back on my feet. With suitable escort.
The police?
The police.
And when the police found no one?
I might ask them not to overlook the back room. In short, Mr. Sweetheart, I have not altogether lost interest in Shantae. I should like to see more of her. Besides, she's pregnant and she needs a friend. I shall talk about it with the water cellar.
In a way that can only be to the advantage of all of us.
You sent for us, Mr. Sweetheart?
The factory is in trouble.
It always is.
The authorities are threatening to close us down unless we can show that the extension of our facilities is imminent.
Mr. Sweetheart, I'm sick and tired of your constantly expanding projects. I place cabins at your cousin's disposal. You make a factory out of that. I hand your cousin a check and you present it. Your cousin disappears and you start talking of getting more.
Mr. Shufu, I am authorized to inform you that Miss Shente's return is now imminent.
Imminent? It's becoming his favorite word.
Yes. What does it mean?
Mrs. Michu, I am prepared to offer exactly half of what you wanted for your building. Are you going to inform the police I will be taking them over?
Certainly. If I can take over your manager.
What?
He's so efficient.
I'm afraid I need Mr. Yang's son.
So do I.
He will call you tomorrow.
Well, so much the better with Shantae likely to show up at any moment. The presence of that young man is hardly in good taste.
So, we have reached a settlement. In what was once Shente's little shop, we're laying the foundations for Mr. Sweetheart's 12 super tobacco market. You'll bear in mind they call me the tobacco king of Setzuan. And it is my cousin's interests that have been served. The police!
Quiet there, quiet. I'm sorry, Mr. Sweetheart, but there's been reports that you've been depriving Miss Shentai of her freedom. Not that I believe all here, but the whole city's in an uproar.
That's a lie.
Mr. Yang Sung has testified that he heard sobbing in the back room.
Mrs. Mitsu and I will testify that no one here has been sobbing.
Yes, we've been quietly smoking our cigars.
I'm afraid I have to take a look at that back room. There's no one there. Of course, sir.
But I heard sobbing. What's this?
Those are Shentai! People! Shentai's clothes are here!
Murder girl's clothes found on the chair. Body of murder girl still missing. Police are suspected.
Mr. Sweetheart, unless you can tell us where those came from, I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to come along.
I do not know.
I can't say how sorry I am.
Everything will be cleared up in no time. There are still shortages in Setzuan.
I heard sobbing.
At last you're here. It's Shentai. She's been gone for months now. And today her cousin's been arrested. They think he murdered her to get the shot, but I had a dream. And in this dream, Shentai said her cousin was keeping her prisoner.
It's just the last straw. All is lost.
A little moderation, dear colleague.
What's the good of moderation now? If she can't be found, we'll have to resign. The world is a terrible place, full of misery and vulgarity and waste. And even the countryside isn't what it used to be. The trees are all getting their heads chopped off by the telephone wires. And there's such a great noise from all the gunfire. And I can't stand those heavy clouds of smoke. And the place is absolutely unlivable. Good intentions bring people to the brink of the abyss, and good deeds push them over the edge. I'm afraid our book of rules is destined for the scrap heap. It's people, they're a worthless lot. The world is too cold. It's people, they're too weak. Dignity, dear colleague, dignity. Never despair. And as for this world, didn't we agree that we only had to find one human being who could stand the place? Well, we found her. True, we lost her again. We must find her again, that's all. And at once.
Tobacco market.
One of the judges is a friend of Mr. Shufu.
Another one accepted a present from Shuita last night. A great fat goose.
And Shenpei is nowhere to be found. Only the gods will ever know the truth.
Order in the court. My lords, the judges.
We'll never get away with it. Our certificates were so badly forged. My predecessor's sudden indigestion will certainly cause comment. But he had just eaten a whole goose.
Look at that. New judges.
New judges! And what good ones, too!
Be prepared for a surprise. The judges have changed.
What is the matter now?
The great tobacco king nearly fainted.
Yes, as soon as he saw the new judges.
Does he know who they are? Defendant Shuita, you are accused of doing away with your cousin Shente in order to take possession of her business. Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, my lord.
The first witness is the policeman. I shall ask him to tell us something of the respective reputations of Miss Shente and Mr. Shuita.
Miss Shente was a young lady who aimed to please my lord. She liked to live and let live, as the saying goes. Mr. Shuita, on the other hand, is a man of principle. Though the generosity of Miss Shente forced him at times to abandon half measures, he was always on the side of the law, my lord. One time, even unmasked a gang of thieves to a two-truck whose cousin had given shelter. The evidence, in short, my lord, proves that Mr. Shuita stands incapable of the crime of which he stands accused.
I see. And are there others who could testify along, shall we say, the same lines?
Mr. Shu Fu, a very important person.
Mr. Shufu.
Mr. Shuita is a businessman, my lord. Need I say more?
Yes.
Very well, I will. He is a vice president of the Council of Commerce and is about to be elected a justice of the peace.
Elected! Ha! He gave him the job!
Another very important person, Mrs. Michoud.
Mrs. Michoud. My lord, as chairman of the Committee on Social Work, I'd like to point out just a couple of eloquent facts. Mr. Shuita has not only erected model factories and model housing in our community, but he is also a regular contributor to our homes for disabled.
She's a friend of the judge who ate the great fat goose.
Ah. Yes.
on the scene when Shente was in danger of what I understood was a gift from the gods. Because I did the filthy jobs which someone had to do, they hate me. My activities were restricted to a minimum, my lord.
He had us arrested.
Certainly, you stole from the bakery.
Such concern for the bakery. I don't suppose you want the shop for yourself?
You're a parasite.
But we had nowhere else to go.
There were too many of you.
What about this old couple? Were they parasites too?
We lost our shop because of you.
And we gave your cousin money.
My cousin's fiance was a flyer. The money had to go to him.
Oh, but did you care whether he married her or not? Did you care whether he flew again or not? You wanted her to marry someone else.
The flyer turned out to be a scoundrel.
Which was the reason you made him your manager?
Later on, he improved.
Oh, and when he improved, you sold him to her.
Because she would not let me have her premises unless she had him to stroke her knees.
What? The man is a pathological liar. Don't ever speak to me about my premises again. Murderer?
My lord, I wish to speak for the defendant.
Naturally, he's your employer.
And the worst slave driver in the country.
That's a lie. My lord, Mr. Sweeta, is a great man. He not only...
He's this and he's that, but he's not a murderer. Just 5 minutes before his arrest, my lord, I heard Shente's voice in his own back room.
Oh? Tell us more.
I heard sobbing, my lord.
But lots of women sob. We've been finding.
But I failed to recognize her voice.
No, you made her sob so often yourself.
Yes, but I also made her happy. Until he decided to sell her to you.
Because you didn't love her.
Oh, no, my lord. It was for the money.
And what was the money for, my lord? For the poor. And for Shente, so she could go on being good.
For the poor that he sent to his sweatshop? Then why didn't you let Shente be good when you signed off that big check?
For the child's sake, my lord.
And what about my children? What's he done for them?
Yeah, that shop was to be a fountain of goodness. That was the God's idea. You came and spoiled it.
If I hadn't, it would have run dry.
There's a lot in that, my lord. What have you done with the good Shente, bad man? She was good. She was good, my lord. I swear she was. What happened to your hand, water seller? It was all his fault. Shente was going to send me to a doctor. You were her worst enemy.
I was her only friend.
Then tell us where your good friend is.
Shente had to go.
Where? Where, Shente?
I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you.
Why not? Why not?
My lord, clear the court. When only the judges remain, I will make a confession.
Clear the court.
Clear the court!
Mr. Sweetheart, you've met your match this time. You're in for a little surprise. Illustrious ones.
Yes, I recognize him.
What have you done with our good woman of Setzuan?
I have a confession to make. I am she.
Shente.
Shente, yes. Shweta and Shente, both.
Your injunction to be good and yet to live was a thunderbolt. It has torn me in two. I can't tell how it was to be good to myself and to others at the same time. I could not do it.
Your world is not an easy one, illustrious ones. Well, when we extend our hand to a beggar, he tears it off for us. And when we help the lost, we are lost ourselves. And so, since not to eat is to die, who can long refuse to be bad? As I lay prostrate between the weight of good intentions, ruin stared me in the face. It was when I was unjust, I ate the good meat, and I hobnobbed with the mighty. Why are good deeds punished and bad ones rewarded? I enjoy giving. I truly wish to be the angel of the slums. But washed in a gutter by the water of a foster mother, I developed a sharp eye. Pity became a thorn in my side. And later, when kind words turned to ashes in my mouth, anger took over. I became a wolf. Find me guilty then, illustrious great godly deeds. I was